So here it is, the Sony Walkman WM-F77. It's got some really nice features on here. It's got auto reverse, Dolby noise reduction, and an FM/AM stereo. If we look at the top here, you can pick your direction mode for looping or replaying. You can pick the direction that the tape is playing, and then you have your play, stop, fast forward, and rewind. The tape deck has a very nice clamshell door opening, no latching mechanism, it just opens and closes like that. On the side you can pick your radio station, which is indicated by this marker right up here, and select between AM and FM bands. Nothing on this side, nothing on the bottom. Headphone jack up top, and a DC in 3-volt power supply on the back. Has a clip for pockets, but it doesn't seem to have come with that. And on the back, a very nice battery door tray. It won't fall off. 2 AA batteries. So I purchased this Walkman on eBay for about $40, and I have the intention of replacing the belts in this, and the belts for this model cost me about another $10. So all in, I've spent about $50. But if this was a fully functioning Walkman of this model, it could run upward about $100. So me taking this apart and replacing the belts in it, I'll effectively be doubling my investment on this Walkman. And in total, it's really a classic looking and just a solid, nice Walkman. So I'm really excited to get this thing open. First, I'm going to run through the features on this and see what's actually still working. I have a feeling the FM radio might still work, but we're going to find out. Another additional feature that's really nice is its ability to play chrome oxide and metal tapes. Something that you didn't really see back on tapes back in the day. You definitely don't see now, but it's very nice to have. So let's start using this Walkman and see what features on it are still functioning. Let's start by popping some batteries in. Now I have a feeling the FM radio might still work, so let's switch that, and we got a light. I'm going to pop in my headphones and check myself. And it gets radio. It sounds terrible. I don't know if you can hear it through my crappy headphones. It sounds really bad. Let's try sifting through these channels. It might have just been a bad signal. It sounds terrible, but it is working. Let's try the AM. That's also working. It sounds very tinned out. Oh, that sounds pretty clear, actually. So I'll try and record this later, if I can, once I get this working. But I'm glad to hear that the FM radio is still working. At least this device is somewhat functional. I think all we'll need to do is replace the band on the motor, and this honestly might be a pretty good investment. So let's switch back to tape now, and let's try these functions out. If I try playing it, I get this weird hum, and it doesn't look like my fast forward and reverse are doing anything either. If I open this up, I'm not sure if this head does much. Maybe it's 2 heads. I think I'm going to have to open up the back, and let's get inside. So first I'm going to remove the batteries that I just put in. I was able to find the manual for this particular Walkman online more easily than I have been other models. So that was kind of nice, but sometimes it can be a little difficult finding these things. So I'm supposed to just take out these 3 screws plus this one that's in the FM selection knob. So let's start by doing that. And I'm going to make sure not to lose track of where these screws go, because they're all different. hopefully this thing just lifts off. Which it doesn't seem to want to. So it seems like it also wants me to remove these 3 screws on the side and take this entire clamshell door off, which I would have rather preferred not to, quite honestly, but sometimes you just gotta, I guess. Again, I have a feeling I'm gonna lose these very small screws that you have to keep track of. Is that gonna come off? Oh boy. That fell off. So let's just put that there. I think if I just push this little knob in here. I really don't want to break this. Okay, so it's a little tough to see, but almost immediately after I took this door off and this little piece of metal falling out, I regretted it. And what it is it's a little spring attached on there on a little clip. And the second it came out, I realized I shouldn't have done that because getting it back in was an absolute nightmare. So I got it back to working, but I'm really hoping I can get this back off without having to take this door off because that was an absolute travesty. I don't recommend taking the door off. Let's see if we can get the back off without doing it. So I'm kind of hoping I can just pry this off somehow, which it looks like it wants to go. There it is. Hopefully I didn't break anything. Oh boy. No, actually we look good. But I can see right from there, the place where I need to get to is on the other side of this circuit board. And I really don't want to take the door off, so maybe I can take this board off from the back side and get to this belt. Let's see. So I think if I take this, it says to take the selector knob off. Actually, I'm going to leave that there, given the past experiences with that thing, with this whole Walkman. Everything's very compact. They really knew what they were doing when they were constructing these kinds of mechanisms back then. But as you can tell, it's not extremely... It is repairable. I'll give it that. A lot of stuff today is not repairable. It's even worse than this. But this isn't exactly the most repair-friendly product. And if I can just flip this over... it doesn't want to go. Oh, this wire right here doesn't want to let it come out. Kind of get a sense for the inside. This is the motor. It's a very slimline motor. What I'm trying to get to is this belt that's on the end of it. It's a little tough to see, but I'm going to try and get this circuit board off. So once I loosened the tape on the wires, I was able to pull it up fairly easily, and here's the inside. As you can see, the belt is completely shot. It melted to the bottom, so I got to clean all this crap out. And then we're going to get our replacement belt and we're going to swap it out, and I think this should work pretty well. I'm just using some isopropyl alcohol and some cotton swabs, and I'm just going to try and clean all this gunk up. As you can see, it really just melts to everything around it. So I'm just going to take a little while and clean all this crud up best I can. Oh yeah, that's that's gonna make a real big difference. Look at this. And this stuff just sticks to you. It's a little bit of the 1980s right there. I need more. So I'm trying to just find all this stuff that's in here. It really is just melted to everything. I mean, it's even up here. See that? It's up here on the circuit board too. So I really just need to clean all this, and I think I'll come back. So I think that looks nice and clean. Everything's able to spin around freely. I used 91% alcohol, which makes the rubber just kind of fall right off and get absorbed into the paper towel. I'm going to go wash my hands, and then we're going to throw the new belt on here. If I can tell this correctly, I just have to put this belt around this wheel here. Come up over the top of this other one. And then try and get it down to the motor. Before I wrap it around this. Oh, this is tricky. But that... Maybe it. I think that's it. I'm going to give that a couple good spins, let that straighten out. I think I might be able to clean this up, pop the back on, and see if this thing works. When I put the circuit board back on, I popped the batteries in, and I wanted to see if the motor would run, which it is, but it's a very weak and it doesn't want to run consistently, so I'm going to have to take the circuit board back off, get back in there, and clean a little bit better. Unfortunately, I can't leave the batteries in and take the circuit board off, so I'm just going to have to clean better and try again. Going through, I cleaned it up just a little bit more. There's a lot of gunk really stuck in the grooves of these gears, and I really wanted to clean up the motor a bit, so that's pretty good now. I'm going to try and close this up, and we're going to try the batteries again. Okay. Let's pop these in and try hitting play. Oh, there we go. I think it might be working, actually. Let's try popping a tape in. It sounded like it wanted to spin, but it just wasn't going. Maybe it'll be different with the tape in. I'll go for a little bit and then I'll stop. Maybe it just needs to work out the kinks. Because it'll fast forward and rewind, and then I'll stop working. It wants to work, but it won't. Yeah, I think it just wanted to shake loose some of the cobwebs on it, but I think I got it working pretty reliably now. That seems to be playing. Let's try the auto reverse. Oh, no, it is. Okay. Fast forward. Rewind. That seems to be looking pretty good. One last thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna spray out this volume knob with contact cleaner so it's less staticky when we change the volume. And I think that's good. I'm gonna clean this up, patch it back up, and then we'll go over it. Make sure that these are lined up right. It feels like they are. Just gonna put these in and then I'll tighten them all up when they're all in. I'll make them all nice and tight. Add the volume knob. I'd say we're about done. It's a little tough to see, but the reason this thing is capable of auto reverse is because this playhead has 4 heads on it, meaning that the tape can travel forward and backwards without it having to spin around. And one thing I'm going to do before I close this up completely is I just want to clean this head off with some alcohol on a cotton swab so it's nice and clean. I'm just going to clean it off because this thing's probably been sitting around since the 80s. Very nice. I'm going to try and record some of the audio that comes out of this thing so you guys can hear what it sounds like. The radio is a little staticky, I'll admit.
3 callers. But what we're doing,
it's about as good as you can hope for a portable device, I suppose, but it's a little lacking.
The first time.
If the antenna was bigger and it didn't run on 2 AA batteries, then I'm sure it would be much nicer. But so, a bit staticky. Could be a little bit better, but for FM radio in your pocket, it's pretty nice. Now let's try the tape. I don't think this should hit any contact matches. Overall, that's pretty good. I think that sounds pretty nice for a nice portable device like this. Couldn't really ask for much more. Loads of features, useful for an everyday cassette listener.